people, we have made some post-slavery strides, with the biggest one being putting a black president in the Oval Office. Right. However, as a people, we are not ignorant to the fact that racism still exists. Amen. And this is why there was a need, and I believe there will always be a need for black liberation theology. Yes. Now let me just tell you who is the founder, who came up with this concept of black liberation theology. What I learned while I was in seminary is that there's a lot of different types of theology that speaks to all different types of classes and culture of people. There's a Protestant theology, there's a Methodist theology, there's an Anglo-Saxon theology, there's a Catholic theology, but somewhere in between all there, we couldn't find us something to identify with us as a people.
You better preach, Reverend Sandra.
All right.
So, James Cone, he is the author. He's the founder of Black Liberation Theology. And then I bought his book, and I just took, this is the book, it's a wonderful book, and I just took a few lines of what he said about it. He said that, and this is a very learned man, he has his doctorate in systematic theology. Amen. He teaches at Union Theological Seminary. It's like the Ivy League of seminaries. It is like the Harvard of seminaries. And he's a professor at Union Theological Seminary right there in Manhattan. I have had a class with him a time or two. So what he says in his book, he says, I knew that before I could say anything worthwhile about God and the black situation of oppression in America, I had to discover a theological identity that was accountable to the life, history, and culture of African American people. I had to find a theology that identified with the African American people, and you go in line, the African American people, stop laughing, African American people and the plight. When I say the plight, we all know the plight that we went through. We all know the reason why Martin Luther King Jr., amen, what I love about him is that he took his spiritual framework and put it on social, political structures and said, this is why you have to have equality for us. Because God so loved the world that he loved us the same way he loved you. That God created all of us equal, so we got to be just as equal as you are, because we are children of the Most High God.
Yes. Amen. Amen. Jesus.
God made everything beautiful. He said that we are fearfully and wonderfully and beautifully made. Amen. God said that when I made people, he said that when he was finished, he said he called it good.
Yes. Amen.
So how do I become not even not good? See, the reason I say as a people, when I say as a people, and I'm not using a phraseology of we the people, because we the people came from the Constitution. Mm-hmm. And the problem was when they originally did the Constitution, we were considered as 1/10 of, we wasn't human. Right. We was 1/10 or 1/3 or 1/5 of a thing. We was 1/5 of a thing.
Yes.
A thing. So we wasn't really like human. That's why it was okay for slavery to exist.
Yes. Go on, right.
It was okay for them to treat us like chattel.
That's history.
And sell us back and forth.
Come on now.
So Cone says, I have to find a theology to fit these people. And Martin Luther King says that, and even Cone says that Martin Luther King was the most prolific theologian because he used his theology, he used his Jesus to go up against those laws of an inequality towards us. And some of the laws did actually get changed because a minister, a Christian man of God, went up against society and said that this is not equal at all.
Amen. Amen.
Preach, brother.
And he marched in the dogs and the water and the jail and the hangings. Because this is not equal and my Jesus won't let me sit down on this. So Cone says, I was searching for a way to create a Christian theology out of the black experience of slavery, segregation, and the